Judge Juan Merchan will decide next month whether to send Donald Trump to prison following last week's guilty verdicts in New York. Last night, Trump suggested if he is reelected, it could be his opponents looking at jail time.
It's a terrible precedent for our country. Does that mean the next president does it to them? That's really the question. It's a terrible, terrible path that they're leading us to. And it's very possible that it's going to happen to them.
And this morning, one of Donald Trump's allies, one of his former aides, Steve Bannon, was more explicit. He told Axios that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg should be and will be jailed if Trump is reelected. Back here with my friends and reporters. Nia, you were talking before I spoke with Senator Fetterman about kind of the other side, if you will, and the question about Donald Trump. You were talking about it through the frame of his age.
Right.
This is a very different question.
Yeah, it is a question. It is a question about what kind of president he would be for his second term. And we have evidence from his own interviews. He gave a very lengthy interview for Time Magazine, his comments there. And even in some ways how he ran in 2016, the whole lock her up chant against Hillary Clinton. He does seem to be out for revenge in a second term. He is explicitly sort of telling his supporters that they will be redeemed, he will be redeemed, because he will seek revenge in a second term. This would make America not a democracy anymore. It would make it an autocracy. The idea that the most powerful person in America would be jailing Alvin Bragg, as you heard Bannon say, it's very concerning. And I think the Biden administration obviously wants to point to Donald Trump's own rhetoric around this to really raise the level of concerns among voters about the fragility of democracy under a Trump term.
I mean, it's this funny thing that we do with Donald Trump, where he says a lot of what he says he wants to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of it gets like, oh, well, it's just Trump saying stuff. But he was president. He is trying to be president again. He is saying what he wants to do. And I think we are fair to judge it on that standard.
And then it's the company that he's keeping. And what he said was pretty specific. It came out of his own mouth. And there are people like Charlie Kirk, who is somebody who you might say, okay, he's fringe. But Donald Trump is going to an event with him at his Turning Point organization, one, I think, tomorrow, and then another one in a couple of weeks. Here's what Charlie Kirk tweeted. How many Republican DAs or AGs have stones? We are in a serious political movement until we are ready to fight fire with fire, indict the left, or lose America. Okay, so he's, as I said, considered fringe, even though he's very much connected to Donald Trump. Trump certainly listens, or he has his ear, I should say. Then you have a United States Senator from Florida, Marco Rubio, who said, our current president is a demented man propped up by wicked and deranged people willing to destroy our country to remain in power. It's time to fight fire emoji with fire emoji.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the question we're all asking ourselves is the kind of old literally or seriously question on Donald Trump. And when you have, Steve Bannon told my colleagues, Jim Vandehei and Mike Allen gave very explicit orders. Is Steve Bannon going to be in the administration in a potential Trump White House? I don't know, but it's clear he's getting this advice. I think big picture, what's been clear over the last 8 years is that this is a country that's governed by a constitution, but also a lot of norms that are unwritten. And there are a lot of norms that just are established and maintained by the goodwill of the people that we elect. And there's no guarantee moving forward that norms stay as they are, and again, this is to the Rubio point. Rubio thinks norms are being violated, right? Marco Rubio is a serious United States senator. He thinks, he's also potentially in the running for vice president. Let's price that in there.
Most importantly.
Yeah, but the anger on the Republican side is very real, and they feel that norms have been violated as well. And that's why, in a lot of ways, they might feel justified in violating those norms in return. But again, I don't know where this ends, and it's not.
And then the question is, we have to go to break. Then the question is, well, who started to violate the norms? The people who made did the things that ended up in court, or the court process, which worked like it works for other people, allegedly, except in the case of New York, where he was